This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital. It is Friday, 14th July, 2023. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is news to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the House of Representatives will sit next Wednesday to make urgent changes to the Procurement Act. He was addressing a PNM rally at Hillview College in Tunapuna on Thursday night. Dr. Rowley referred to the fact that Finance Minister Colin Imber will have to issue an order to retroactively approve spending on goods and services for last week's CARICOM leaders meeting in Trinidad and Tobago. He said the present law meant no one could do business in a period of under 2 months, the time to facilitate tenders, responses, and the input of an advisory committee on procurement. Dr. Rowley said, quote, "We have to come back to Parliament to amend it. If we do not pass a law to put sensible arrangements in place, TNT will grind to a halt," end quote. The Bankers Association of Trinidad and Tobago has strengthened its coordination effort among all banks by broadening its interaction with the police and partnership with Crime Stoppers TNT Limited. This partnership, the association said in a release, is meant to mitigate and or manage incidents of criminal activity against its clients after they have visited its members' branches or ATMs. The association said on Thursday it acknowledged the increased risk clients and customers encounter before and after they visit branches and ATMs. It added the hike in criminal activity is of much concern. Secretary of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Israel, convened a meeting on Thursday with all key stakeholders from the Division and Tobago Regional Health Authority to address the unfolding Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, situation in the country. The meeting focused on case identification, isolation, quarantine protocols, treatment, vaccinations, and education. Planning for the threat of Mpox began last year when the outbreak started around the world and cases had been identified in neighboring Caribbean islands. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is seeking urgent assistance of the public in locating 18-year-old Serencia Ramdiel. Ramdiel was last seen at her Peterborough San Juan home on Monday and was reported missing on Wednesday, but to the San Juan police station. She's of mixed descent, slim-built, brown skin and complexion, approximately 5 feet 4 inches tall, with a cornrow hairstyle. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez denounced the opposition NDP's verbal abuse of the new clerk of the House of Assembly, Deborah Charles, on Thursday. The selection of Mrs. Charles as clerk of the House, according to opposition leader Godwin Friday, does not satisfy the appearance of impartiality and constitutional legality. However, in his response to the opposition leader, Dr. Gonzalez remarked the objections are ingrained in the brains of individuals in the opposition and actually do not exist in reality. And finally, the United Nations insists Thursday the end of AIDS is still possible by 2030. However, it cautions the world's deadliest pandemic could only be halted if leaders grasp the opportunity. UN AIDS said ending the pandemic was above all a political and financial choice. The UN first set out in 2015 the target of ending AIDS as a public health threat by the year 2030. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have major news coming your way at 7 a.m. Good morning. Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
That's right. Good morning, neighbors. Good morning, neighbors. One more time, just for good luck. Good morning, neighbors. It's Friday, the 14th day of July. It's a love day. Yep, the 14th day of July. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show. We got Richard Ragbari Singh, Wendell Stephen. We got Ruben in the mix. And my name is Steve Khan. We'll keep you company until 9 o'clock this morning. All right. Quickly, let's take a look what's happening with the WTs, see what's going on. Nothing. Yeah. Got a minor accident on the Valencia stretch, somewhere in the middle. But I have nothing to tell you about. Nothing. Not even getting in the port of Spain. Not even. Just a little volume by the traffic light by the market. Nothing in San Fernando. Nothing under Solo. Nothing Uriah but the highway. God, you love to love it. You love to love it. Yep. All right, quickly, let's take a look at the W's now. Since that was the T's, see what's happening weather-wise. What the Met Office is saying. 26 degrees on both islands. 26 degrees. They're saying a fair to partly cloudy conditions with a few light to moderate showers. There's a medium 60% chance of isolated afternoon and late night thunderstorms. Gusty winds and street flash flooding are possible. All right. And that's what they're saying. Tomorrow, they're saying Saturday is going to be partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with occasional light to moderate showers. High 70% chance of scattered thunderstorms favoring the morning and early afternoon. Settled evening and night despite a few lingering showers. As I said, it's 29 degrees, not 29, 26 degrees at both Piarco International Airport and Crown Point in Tobago. It is 15 degrees and sunny in Toronto. Miami, you're clear at 28. Orlando, cloudy, 25. New York, cloudy and 23. Atlanta, clear, 23. London, a little drizzle, and 17 degrees. Tampa, cloudy, 26. Washington, D.C., mostly cloudy, and 23 degrees. All right? That's temps around our listenership. All right, so that's the WTs. But let's see who sent us hellos first thing this morning via our mobile app or website at power102fm.com. Let's see. First off the gate this morning would be Wendy Ann. Good morning, Wendy Ann. Where's Ken E? We haven't heard from Kenny in like a couple of weeks. Maria Marva, good morning. Garth Cillier out in Valencia. DJ Ray in Delaware. Said very, very humid. Blessed day, you all. Oliver Man Warren. It's Friday. It's finally Friday. Yeah, you can say that again. Rena Boudou Jennings, TGIF. Good morning to the Paul Breakfast crew and pleasant day as well. D. Pierre. Good morning, D. Pierre. Long time. Ms. Maloney. Good morning to you, Dudu. Have a fantastic day, Miss Ingrid. Out in Tucson, Arizona. Good morning. Carol here. Carol again. Carol Guevara. Wagwan. TGIF. Big guy out in New York. Good morning to you. Neighbors. CJ also out in New York. Good morning. Have a fantastic weekend. Loyal listener says morning. All right. So thank you so much. Let's see who's watching us. Send us a message on YouTube this morning. I just got Ray. Good morning to you, Ray. Happy Friday. Have a blessed day, weekend. Be safe. Thank you, Ray. Out in a very, very warm West Palm Beach, Florida. Brenda Isaac, good morning to you. Nice morning to all and enjoy the weekend. Thank you so much. Lynn, you just snuck in. So good morning to you, Lynn. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. H.S. Wilson, you just peeped in as well. Good morning, everyone. He's watching as well. H.S. Wilson, I guess that he or I'll just say H.S. Wilson. I don't know. So good morning to you. Where's Wendell Stephen? He's not in yet. All right, he'll join us short. I know Ruben is in the background there. Maybe he's waiting. Yep, he was waiting. Morning to you, Wendell Stephen. What's shaking?
Morning. Yeah, I've been there a little while. Morning, guys. Morning Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Ruben, like he expected to have a rough morning because Ruben sent this link since last night, you know.
Yeah, he did.
Back in my emails, I saw this link since last night. So like Ruben expected to have a hard Friday morning. Morning, Ruben. Anyway, good morning, Richard. Morning, Paul, wherever he is. He's across the pond still posing up a set of pictures.
Yeah.
And good morning, everyone else. Yeah. Morning, Rena. Morning, Carol. Morning, Riri. Morning, Shamin. Morning, Gloria. Morning, Deborah. Morning, Mrs. R. And I know I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm saying good morning anyway. But But I get these early morning messages, especially from Charmaine, Rena, and Charmaine, Rena, and Carol almost every morning. And of course the others on
Jam.
Facebook. Noel
Trinity Jam
Johnson.
says, good morning, guys. My birthday is on Sunday. Wish me by playing a nice song for me. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. Happy birthday in advance, Trinity Jam. All the best.
I have two
Have a great day.
Wendy's who celebrating birthday today. Two Wendy's. Wendy Ann Gibbs. Wendy Lee Park Gibbs. She's from San Fernando. I saw her for the first time in a long while last Saturday. She used to be a counselor down San Fernando. I saw, good morning, Wendy, and have a happy birthday. And of course, Wendy Lewis, she's a pastor. She used to live St. James. I don't know. I think Wendy lives abroad now, Wendy Lewis. But happy birthday to you all. And I'm not sure who else is celebrating. I don't have much July birthdays in my life. I have a son and a nephew who's the 23rd. But other than that, I don't think I have much July birthdays.
Well, yesterday was one of my buddies' birthday. Natty. Happy belated birthday, Natty. Yesterday was his birthday. So he just had a spurty moment lime last evening. So it wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah, those kind of limes tend to turn out good.
It was going, when I looked down my watch, I saw 11:15. I said, All right, guys. Gotta run.
Yeah.
That was a
upcoming,
nice
right? Tomorrow is Roxanne Muhammad's birthday. That's David Muhammad's wife. So happy birthday in advance, Roxanne Muhammad. Her birthday is tomorrow. And on Sunday is the Mayor of San Fernando, Junior Regrello's birthday. Marcel Johnson from NCC. Denise Sinarine from down John Street. And I'll talk about John Street in a little while because of that young man who was murdered yesterday. And so they are coming up over the weekend. Also, Nigel Lemont, who is my friend who lives out there in Georgia. Is Georgia? Yeah, he lives in Georgia.
Yeah.
So there was this murder yesterday in Cocorite of a young man. And condolences to his family, a family who I know very well. As a matter of fact, Dylan worked with me at one point in time. And I'm saying, when I heard who was murdered, I said, Dylan? I said, but I know Dylan. I know Dylan quiet. Dylan always respectful. Dylan, I don't know Dylan to be involved in any illegal activities. So I reached out to a few people and they said, well, yeah, it's Dylan, but there's not Dylan they come to kill. I said, what kind of craziness I hear in here, man? You know what I mean? If you see Dylan, nasty little Dylan, and I'm saying, what is really going on with these young people? Thankfully, the police intercepted a vehicle and held two young men who I don't know, but they're also from the Cocorite area yesterday. You know, what? Everybody just killing one another for all kind of stupid reasons now. You understand? And other people getting killed. That is the worrying part. The person who you went to kill because of whatever they do you or whatever they're involved in, you ain't kill them, you kill somebody else. How is that ever accepted by anybody? So the death of young Dylan yesterday really affected me because I know Dylan. You understand? And he would pass every now and then on that Western Minute and say hi. You understand? Oh. Let's hope that he gets justice and his family gets justice.
Yeah, I saw that Yaris vehicle by Central Bank leaving Port of Spain yesterday. I'm saying, why is there so much traffic to leave Port of Spain? And then I saw this right by outside Central Bank on Ryson Road. And I said, okay, lots of police. And I said, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but all right. I said they probably intercepted some bandits or something like that. Not knowing this was what was going on. This place is just getting ridiculous. Limbs found up in Mouska side. I don't know, people firebombing houses. I don't know.
You see that issue of that firebombing of the house. That would have happened Wednesday, right? After I left here. So I didn't get to talk about it, right? When I saw that video, and I'm watching that video, and the video is clearly being videotaped from a home, either the very same home that they firebombed or another home, right? That they captured the CCTV cameras from, right? Of these young men running up the road and invading this home by throwing bombs and so on. And I'm saying, did anyone at the point in time call the police? You know, because it seemed that they were there for long enough for police to intervene. You understand? And I'm watching the video too, and I'm saying, surely by now, the police would have heard who was this group that went and do this, or would have been able to identify some of them by the way they moved and the way they walked and the way the clothes they wore. Why haven't we heard as yet what is the situation with that particular firebombing of that home? Surely somebody in the neighborhood saying something. You understand? Surely people in the neighborhood know who it is. You know, and these are the things that worry me. You see the crime, I basically accept the crime for what it is, right? Because a lot of people are involved in all kind of activities that calling down hell and damnation on their own lives, right? But when it is that you don't get a reaction from the authorities, that is the worrying part. Because everywhere you go, you see police. I see police everywhere I turn now. You see police vehicles, you see police patrols, you see police everywhere you turn. So how come we not getting any kind of swift reaction? And we got it yesterday with the murders, with the alleged murderers of Dylan.
Yeah, kudos right? to the TDPS on that.
Right? But in a case like that bombing, where it took so long, and it's so many different people, how come we haven't heard anything as yet? You understand? Is it that people accepting that some people deserve what they're getting? I don't understand what is going on now. That to me, that had to be the mindset that they look for what they get. Well, Dylan didn't look for what he get. You understand? He certainly didn't deserve what he get. Yes. Anyway. And I mean, West Indies already done had made the press yesterday because they playing against one man.
West Indies made 150.
Yes,
and India is something. What is this score for two?
300 and something. One man and 143 not out. West Indies made 115. West Indies made 150 and Jaiswal and 143 not out. So he alone playing against West Indies.
Somebody international circuit until they get acted there.
So they done had many press. I had the TV on, but I had it on silent most of the time. You know? But
it's an embarrassment.
And I see I had to harass morning Deborah. I had to harass Gary yesterday. He sent me a video. As he does almost every single day of his campaign. And yesterday he literally passed. He was next door to me in St. James. Next door to me. I said, but you ain't email me out? Like the guy next door tell you that is Wendell place there? You understand? He started to laugh. You understand? Because next door to me lives the guy who contested for Louis Leasing last election. He's either there, he works at the Port of Spain Corporation. So he contested for Louis Leasing last election. He lives right next door to me. You understand? But Gary came right there, and his video consists of two households who never voted for PNM. And they ain't going and vote for his candidate either. I can tell him that from now. Them two households ain't voting for that young man NTA put up in the area. I'm sorry to tell him it like as bluntly as that. But yeah, all the best to them. They ain't gonna win a seat, but say what? Oh, Lincoln's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday in advance, Lincoln. Ooh, and Lincoln, I have to tell you, I'm getting these messages from several people. You have a lot of fans on this breakfast show too.
Yeah. I said that Gary is by Rumbucks, almost by Rumbucks. Is there an issue with the brewery not delivering stocks.
Which brewery?
Carib and so on. Someone was
Actually,
telling me that yesterday.
No, Harper would have told me. I think now they have a 1-day delivery thing. Normally you'd call and you'd get it 3 or 4 days later.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they can call for today for tomorrow now. I think they implemented that. Harper, if you're listening, you can let me know if you're having a problem with Carib. As far as I'm aware.
Well, they're better than Vemco, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. What kind of dark? Hold on. Lincoln, no question, man. Just say take your happy birthday in advance from you and have it.
Good morning to Rena Boodoo Jennings. Good morning to Gloria Gray. Good morning. Wonderful weekend and love to all locked on from New Jersey. Also, happy anniversary to my daughter and son-in-law, who's that, Dexter and Nisha John, tomorrow from New Jersey. All right. Good morning to Jennifer Sankofa. Good morning, GNC Auto Security. Good morning. Mr. Carapo, good morning all. Wendy answers, Wendell, what station is cricket on West Indies versus India? Not
389, Rush.
What?
It's on channel 389, Rush.
No, but yeah, that's your channel, but they have different providers. So what's
channel? So I would know. I could only speak for the channel I get.
And then last night was the start of the American Premier League cricket. You all watched any of that?
No, I didn't watch that.
You forgot about it.
I actually watched on YouTube, watched on Facebook the PNM's meeting. That's what I was. PNM had a meeting in Hillview College, your old school, Steve. And I watched it on Facebook. I couldn't get down there because I did a procedure earlier in the day that rendered me bedridden, so I looked at it on my phone through Facebook. You know. So, yeah. But the meeting, between sleep and wake, because I lie down there and I listening and every now and then I dozing off, So, but it seemed to be a well-attended meeting at Hillview College yesterday. And at one point in time, I heard them thanking the vice principal of Hillview, who was there, who apparently allowed them to use the school. They didn't call a name though. So Hillview doing good things. Hillview doing good things. Is Hillview a private school?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Just a reminder of our poll, Ruben, you need to send the results to me. Are you confident that the TTPS will manage and handle the issue of gangs being more organized? That's our poll from yesterday. I'll give you the final results coming up in about 20 minutes. So vote still. Vote on it. All right. Are you confident that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service will manage and handle the issue of gangs being more organized? You know, at that little birthday line last night, I was told that the individual lives down that side. There's a certain beach in Trinidad where it's just like a flea market with anything you could get, right on the coastline.
A beach?
Like
a flea market?
I've heard that before. I've heard that before. You can get anything from livestock to weapons to this to that. And I'm saying, wow, our intel is so amazing.
Okay.
So amazing.
A beach where? East, west, north, south? Where?
I'm not saying where. But you can make a guess where it is.
Give me a cardinal point. Give me a cardinal point.
Being far that I like to be alive. Born to be alive. Yeah. All right. So
I can only imagine it's far east or northeast or somewhere. Or southeast. I could only imagine
That's
it's
all
a
I feel.
citrus way or some kind of way like that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Or
Okay,
cocoa
right.
or
Okay.
toco. I don't go
Nah,
beach, so
cool. You're gone cool.
I would never
You're gone
I would
cool.
never see it because I don't go beach.
Yeah. Good morning to Showen Kerr. Nathalie Cumberbatch. I think I got it right. My laptop is pretty far. Edwin Marshall, good morning. The cricket could be followed on YouTube. Okay, Edwin. Thank you so much. I did not know that. Lester Craigwell. Let me just shift this here a little bit. Shooting on Bombay Street, St. James. Police on the scene. Body yet to be identified. Oh, my God.
Bombay Street, my goodness.
Where that is from here?
That's another area. That's not too far from me.
That north of the
Bombay Street is
north of the main road.
It's more the east, more central Western Main Road. Bombay Street is like the center Western Main Road. You know where. Let me see. Bombay Street is literally opposite, not obliquely opposite Apex nightclub. Bombay Street is like
Oh, really?
A few feet west of the Apex nightclub, on the other side of the road. There's a laundry on the corner.
Oh, okay. So
Chin's Laundry.
These guys are just get off. You know, we get off the bed, we give thanks, and I'm going for my routine. I walk to the kitchen and make my coffee and make sure my pets are all got their food. And these guys just get up and say, they're going to kill a man. I don't understand.
How come not shooting in St. James
in front of TSZ?
And I ain't get that info. Amen?
Sorry?
Where did you say? In front of?
In front of TSZ.
On Bombay Street?
Look what you're asking me.
So that's... No, is the shooting you're talking about?
Well, he said there is a shooting there and police on the scene. I don't know, I really... Personally,
that should be...
I am just saying what I am thinking is that I have no idea how the security forces going to curb this crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. I have no idea how they're going to do it. Can it come back to what our beloved Twin Island Republic was? I don't think so.
Yeah. But maybe they
the crime is totally out of hand. And quite frankly, I know a lot of people that are leaving. They're actually fed up that they get in homes, getting invaded. They're getting followed from the bank. Car walk the street. We're not supposed to be living this way.
Yeah. I have to be honest. I am suspicious of some of the activities, though. It's almost like a ramping up of activities, almost. I don't know. Maybe it's just coincidental that we are in an election period and some of these things are happening. Maybe it's just coincidental.
No, forget election. This happened before elections.
No,
this happened way before.
All right. I'm saying that there seems to be a ramping up of activities. I don't know if it's a coincidence or if it's just happening more often than it used to. And I agree that some of these things have been happening even outside of an election period, but it just seems to me that not some of these activities are not just the crime, the issue of the water, the issue of the outages. There was a TSTT breakdown the other day. Then we had some other issue. What was the other issue I raised the other day, boy? When I say, but that's kind of strange that these kind of things happening now. It's almost like deliberate. Now there's a garbage. We got a message yesterday that the garbage workers, the sanitation workers in Port of Spain, protesting because they haven't gotten their back payers yet. Now I don't know if people know.
Garbage was not picked up in Port of Spain.
Yeah, So some of these departments, and that is something that I have a serious problem with. I have always come to the defense of our sanitation workers in the city because I think they are some of the hardest workers out. And to think that because your back pay, and this is what I'm hearing, I don't know how true it is, to think that your back pay has not been paid as yet, but other departments have been paid. Now it's a whole lot of people to deal with, right? So they're doing it in tranches. Because you ain't get yours yet, you decide you're not picking up garbage, I have a real problem with that. So for anybody, Mr. Agarat, Mr. Arthur, and I think Mr. Agarat, I know you listen to this program, if that is what is being encouraged down at transport and cleansing, I have a problem with that. Because you have always, your department have always been the hardest working department in Port of Spain Corporation. And to think that because you ain't get your back pay, not like you're not getting it at all, it just ain't come in your hand as yet. You decide all you live in the city stink. No. You'll get an enemy in me. I ain't not tolerating that. Because if you for so many different reasons, you didn't down your tools, lack of vehicles, lack of thing, you didn't down you didn't stop your services. You're gonna stop it because you ain't got your back pay as yet and you know it coming. Come on, man. You could do better than that. I'm sure you all could do better than that. And transport and cleansing workers know me and how I have come to their defense in the past. You understand? When I heard it yesterday, I was very, very disappointed in it. So I hope it's not true. I hope, because what are doing now at this point in time? What do you think that will cause? Huh? And every day somebody on social media, listen, reading those releases from CCN TV6 or whatever media house on social media is probably one of the most depressing things you'll ever read. Don't read the comments, people, because it's a set of racist, divisive, disgusting comments you'll ever see. And everything is Rowley. Rowley. Everything. It's disgusting. And I find those media houses should have a way of filtering some of those comments that people are making on their releases. But clearly they don't care. If you have nothing good to say, oh God, just hush now. Say nothing. You're going down a road dividing people along racial lines and political lines every single day with what is happening in this place.
And that's another thing that I just find so stupid and immature. You know, every creed and race is equal place. Why are we going down the race line? I hate that race line. I don't know, we are own worst enemies sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the divide line is pretty much, PNM or UNC, two major parties. So if it's PNM in power, the other half will lace the PNM. If the UNC is in power, the other half will lace the UNC. Why?
Now, you see me, political criticism I could take, but you see when it goes down the race road, because that's where a lot of the talk going to now.
I don't know why we're doing this race thing,
Yeah,
if I go to a bar, rum shop, I see everybody lining together. I see people eating doubles of all races and all creeds and all them. Hey, doubles isn't good. How you going? Morning. You're going, everybody saying morning. Morning.
Rum, read, and food, no friend.
I don't know. I just don't.
I don't know how that can be fixed. I don't think it could ever be fixed. Honestly, I don't think so, because that's gotten worse. You understand? So I don't think it can ever be fixed. It needs to be
fixed. The crime situation needs to be fixed.
The person has to fix themselves. Nobody can talk to them. You can't. You dare to comment. You dare to challenge somebody on the divisive comment. And brother man, you'll hear about your mother, your father, your grandmother, and all your ancestors. You'll hear about all of them. It is that bad. So I tend now not to read the comments when they put up those posts. I read the comments, and I stay away from the comments. Trust me. When it was night before too, I'm watching television. I was searching for what was searching for? I was searching for Jeopardy. I don't know what Jeopardy go on these days. Is it that it ended? Carl, tell me, or somebody who watches Jeopardy. I can't find it. I can't find it lately.
No, it's on.
So I'm searching the channels and I hit on CNC3. CNC3, yeah. And Pep is doing a meeting. Felicia Holder is on. Felicia Holder, I admire. She never gets disrespectful and so on, at least so far since I've listened to her. So I decided, let me listen to Felicia a bit. And she's talking and she's talking and she's talking. And then and a guy came on. I don't know his name. I think he represented some other party that has joined with the PEP. I'm not sure. A farmer's party or something. So. And he started to talk. And I think he wanted to use obscene language. But
who's this?
He curbed himself. Huh?
Who are you talking about?
He curbed his language and he said, effing. I said, what did he just say? He blurted out
on what?
Effing something.
On a political platform?
On a political platform. It was on CNC3.
Well, he's crazy.
I said, what did he just say? I said, no. And Philip Alexander came on after. I really can't listen to Philip Alexander, right? As hard as I try, I cannot listen to him, right? And he came on and he started to talk. And I was hoping he would have, because I think he came on right after the man. He would have apologized for what the man said on the platform. No. He was so impressed by the crowd. He started. I said, okay, well, you had enough. Time for bed.
Well, and this is what you want to put people into office to represent. You see, citizens, you all need to weigh options. You need to know, as far as I am concerned, when you have to dip your finger for something betterment. Yes, you may like this party. Yes, you may like that party. And you will vote for them, or you probably will. But remember, it's how betterment for your life, your children, your grandchildren. You have to think of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Port of Spain. I just sent you the picture of the middle of Abercrombie and Park Street. That's been like that for a while. 2 blocks from the Red House. 2 blocks.
Yep.
But garbage wasn't picked up in the Port of Spain area because of pay.
Money. Well, what they're saying is they didn't get their back pay. I don't know how true that is. That's what I heard.
I don't know. Good morning to you. I got some messages on YouTube. Richard Ragabarasing said he comes in for 6:30. Is he late? I did show in Kern. In Marshall. Lester Craigwell, good morning. Yeah, well, yes, he told us that. Cheryl Sibarath, good morning to you. Wendell, I understand exactly of what you speak. Scorpion Pepper, good morning, guys, and TNT from Trinity City. Yeah, Trinity City. Good morning, Scorpion Pepper. Let me tell you, the first time I had a scorpion pepper, I was having plum with salt and black pepper. And my buddy said, well, just take a little piece of that. And I said, okay. He didn't tell me it was scorpion pepper. And I just dip it. Let me tell you, I drove from Tunapuna to Kirap, and for 3 hours it burned. I could smell the coffee being brewed in Brazil. Cleared up my sinuses immediately. Cheryl Sibarath, good morning. Wendell and Steve, I understand exactly what you're saying. I've been observing, same for a number of years. Scorpion Pepper, the other side also accuses the PNM of race baiting. Where is Richard? We don't know. The Great, good morning. Brenda Isaac, Jeopardy is on 121. Also is on, my good friend Bobby told me it is on Flow Channel 1.
That's why I normally get it, Flow Channel 1. But I've been searching for it lately and I'm not getting it. I don't know if the timing changed for it.
All right. Leonard Nightball, good morning to you. Una Antoine, good morning. This is our country. Things are not going anywhere. And this Rowley calling Kamala names too. Okay, Una. DJ Ray, bring back the death penalty. Hell with human rights. Oh, Richard just pop a gray here. Wendy Ann says, okay. Yes, north of the main road, 2 streets on Bonds Road. Okay, going east. Thank you so much, Wendy Ann. Thanks, Wendell and Steve. No, I did not look at cricket last night. Steve, on what station is that cricket? I know you have Amplia. No, I have Digicel. Digicel television is what I have. I don't have Amplia television. But I did look at Amplia television by a buddy of mine. Oh, it's quite nice, I will tell you. It's quite nice. The only thing I don't like with Digicel when it comes to television is that if a show I want to watch and it's in 30 minutes, with Flow, you can just hit playback from the 30 minutes. But with Digicel, you have to rewind the 30 minutes. That's the only thing I don't like. But yeah, good morning, Richie Rich. What's shaking? What's shaking is Friday.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Where's your coffee?
Did you all go through the newspapers already?
No, not yet. Not yet. We're waiting on you.
Okay, so I have them this morning. So I might as well go through them one. Yeah, I can go through them one time. So the Daily Express for today, of course, just in case you didn't know, today is Friday, July 14th. The main headline, no contracts from cabinet. Hines distances government from CPEP projects following surge in gang warfare. So that's the main headline. Gruesome find, of course, is the main picture. And of course, that's relative to whatever was found in Mausika on the highway. That incident yesterday, which I'm sure people know about. I'll just read the caption for the photograph. Members of the Maloney Police Station oversee the removal of body parts by undertakers from the highway along Mausika Road off the Churchill-Roosevelt Highway. Murder victims' relatives, family targeted over greed. All of that is on the front page of the Daily Express. And on the back page, Windies suffer. Indian batters keep West Indies in the field. That's all you need to know, quite frankly, on the back page of the Daily Express. Moving on to the Newsday for today. On the front page of the Newsday, mother grieves after 4th child dies. Man killed in Cocorite. And I know that was also something that was making the rounds yesterday. And the alleged 2 perpetrators were caught not soon after, not so, Wendell? Wendell?
Sorry, Richard, sorry.
I said when the perpetrators caught soon after, if I'm not... Were the perpetrators
yes, on right road.
Right. So the main picture is murder scene, crime scene investigations, examine the house and yard at which Dylan De Silva was gunned down on the Western Main Road. So that's the main picture. Family awaits little Araya's autopsy. That's also a subheadline on the front page of the Newsday this morning. And on the back page, Windies staring defeat as openers score centuries. India pile on runs. And Mexico thump Jamaica 3-0 in Gold Cup semis. That's on the back page of the Newsday. Moving on to the final daily on this Friday morning, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. What headline did they go with? Schools open to migrants. That's the headline. Non-nationals to enter public system from September. Government in discussion with Catholic board. And the main picture is a father holding his daughter who's grabbing him around his neck, basically. And the other main photograph is of children playing with their parents, isn't it? Pupils of education front. Oh, I can't make out what this is.
Do you need binoculars or what?
No, the lighting is terrible here this morning.
Oh, okay.
Pupils of education San Fronteras School, that's why I could make it out, take part in a three-legged race during the La Casita Hispanic Cultural Center Sports Day in celebration of World Refugee Day at the Larry Gomes Stadium in Larry Gomes enclosure in Arima last month. So that's the main picture.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Last month?
Last month they said. I don't know why it's last month. And severed human arms found on a highway. That's the other main headline. And on the back page, sword for West Indies bowlers. Why would they say sword? Is that somebody's name?
Sword. You know when you get licks? When you get licks as a bowler, you say you're getting sword.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a cricket term.
That's something I've just learned. I've never heard that cricket term before, sword.
Yeah, it's only the word sword is only used in one other circumstance.
Okay. What a real katas.
Yeah, basically that's what it is.
Okay. So now we know.
That's the way you tell it.
So now we know. So that's it for our 3 dailies this morning.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you so much, Richie Rich. For 3 days. Let me just do a refresh. Oh no, Ruben sent it to me. So yes. Open it up here. We asked you yesterday on our morning call, are you confident that the TPS will manage and handle the issue of gangs being more organized? All right. That was our poll yesterday. I'll give you the results right after I read this, letting you know that are you ready to explore the cutting-edge world of computers and controls? Then mark your calendars for the TIC convention happening from July 20th. That's it's next week Thursday, would you believe? To 22nd at the Center of Excellence. Visit the Computer and Controls booth and witness the future of communication with PBX voice over IP technology. Enhance your network security with firewalls. Discover the power of seamless connectivity with access points and take your business online with EasyCart. And wait, there's more. There'll be loads of exciting freebies that you won't want to miss. Join the Computer and Controls team for the TIC convention, July 20th to 22nd, Center of Excellence, Mokoya. Computers and Controls, where you can unleash the power of technology and gain valuable insight that will shape your future. All right. Thank you so much, Computer and Controls. Again, the results of our morning poll yesterday. Are you confident that the TDPS will manage and handle the issue of gangs being more organized? 88%, 88 said no.
Wow.
88 said no. Good morning, Ingrid Adam.
Go with this morning?
Carlisle Cupid, good morning. The Great, good morning.
We could look at the migrants being afforded schooling.
Yeah, we did that already.
From September. Well, they said they're talking to well, according to the headline, it says that the Ministry of Education is talking to the Catholic Board. So it seems as if the Catholic Board is the primary institution that's going to allow it, I guess. That's how it comes across. I don't know. That's going to be denominational schools. I don't know. That's how, because why mention that the Ministry of Education is in talks with the Catholic Board?
Then maybe they've spoken to all the other boards before already.
Well, you know, the best way.
I don't see the Anglican Board objecting to something like that.
Well, I could.
And we can't assume that all the children are Catholics.
No, it's not about being Catholic. I think it's about who's allowing access. I assume.
Right.
No,
So,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let me just see. Let me see. Let me just give the quick first couple paragraphs, and so we can better contextualize it. The government is advancing a policy geared towards integrating migrant children into the primary school education system by September. The revelation by Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, Dr. Amy Brown, yesterday follows repeated calls from stakeholders and activists for the displaced children to have access to tuition. During a humanitarian breakfast series, Dr. Brown stated that education without borders for migrant children could soon be a reality. That trajectory and opportunities I had as a child, I would want for every single child in Trinidad and Tobago. I am saying this not just in theory, but to herald the government's advances in policy, which has brought us to a point where we can look forward to that in the very near future. Efforts are taking place for this to occur in the coming school year, for at the primary level, we can facilitate integration and access to public education by children of migrants. There were no talks surrounding the integration of students within the secondary school program. Sorry, secondary school system.
Gentlemen, let's get straight into the poll.
So I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure where the Catholic thing comes into it, because those couple paragraphs don't refer to the Catholic thing yet.
Yeah.
So and I can't read the whole article. So.
All right. So are you happy that migrant children will finally be accepted in our nation's schools? Yes or no? That's our poll this morning. All right. Are you happy that migrant children will be accepted into our school system? Yes or no? From September, is that Richard?
Yeah, in the primary school, yeah.
Yeah, 222-8255 North Americans, 866-525-1099 on YouTube. Tell us where you're watching us from. On our message board via our mobile app and website at Power 102 FM as well. All right. Once again, are you happy that migrant children will be allowed to go to school starting in September?
Yep.
Yes or no?
That's a good news poll this morning.
Yep. Mr. Carapo says, yes, I am. DJ Ray says, yes. Wayne out in Simcoe, Ontario, Canada says, yes. Troy, yes. Long overdue. All right. Scorpion Pepper, yes. On YouTube. Thank you so much.
Scorpion Pepper. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a new texter?
No. Ish out in Malik. Morning, Ish. It says yes. What is that? Chep 65? Cheppy 65? Cheppy 65 says yes. All right, 222-8255, toll free. North Americans, 866-525-1099. Send them directly into our studios. Of course, our message boards and via YouTube and mobile app and website. Miss Ingrid, my answer to the poll is, of course, yes. Everyone deserves an education. Rena Boodoo Jennings says yes. Carol again, Carol here. Carol Guevara says yes to the poll. Thank you. G&C Auto Security says yes. All right. So far, 100% is saying yes.
I'm surprised though that shooting they say in St. James, I'm surprised it doesn't come up in anything that I'm part of. I'm part of several St. James groups, and I haven't seen it. You all got it in the media group?
says no, there's already insufficient teachers for the existing school program, I think he meant to say.
Okay.
All right, let's see what else I got here. Launch Park says yes. Lorna, morning, Lorna. Morning, Indy. Special good morning going out to Kali. Says yes, it's long overdue. Anthony Tinto, good morning, guys. Hope you all have a great day and a great weekend as well. Happy birthday to Marjorie Cooper from nephew.
You know, I'm
Anthony
yet, Tinto,
family.
my
Okay.
apologies. I'm yet to give these guys the ginseng root, you know. Tinto sent a pack of ginseng root
Yeah,
for you
he's
all.
quite delinquent there, Tinto.
Yeah, I'll drop it in Port of Spain today. I know he said you all didn't need it.
Grab this
Bad.
call.
I don't know how you know that.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Grandy. Yes, this is the silly season of politics, and government will say anything at this point in time.
Come, that's not a fair comment. You're either in support of it or not. What the silly season have to do with it? The children can't vote. The parents can't vote.
All right. Good morning to Lisa Salandi. Good morning to you, my dear. Hope all is well. Are you happy that migrant children will be accepted into our school system from September? Yes or no? CJ from New York. Yes. Junior. Good morning, guys. Temporarily, yes, until they start to complain about their language barrier. Oh, all right. So Adisa said yes. Good morning.
Arima's husband, yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Arima husband? Is that what the person said?
I think that was the name, husband. Ms. Maloney says Ms. Avril Bab. What is that? What is that about, Ms. Maloney? Are you happy that migrant children will be accepted into our school system starting in September? Yes or no? Of course, our poll is going to stay up for the entire weekend. And Monday morning, I'll give you the final results on this poll. Okay? And of course, you can call us 222-8255 and those in TNT and North America, 866-525-1099. That's our numbers.
You know, they still flashing 612 talk across the bottom of that ticker tape.
Yeah, that is go straight to boom. Good morning.
Straight, yep.
I wonder why are you shocked when you heard my husband's voice?
Is that your husband? Is Arima husband?
Yeah.
Either husband's is the last name.
I like that. I like
Arima husband called.
Yeah.
No, Arima husband wife is calling.
What? Yes, long overdue.
Long overdue. Thank
All
you.
right. The man stepping this morning, boy. I like that.
That's so fast there too. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Dudu.
Morning, Ms. Maloney.
I said my answer is yes. And good morning to Mrs. Avril Bab, meaning Avia. Thank you. Bye.
All righty.
Don't forget the St. Hill. She wouldn't accept it without St. Hill.
Leonard Naipaul. Good morning to you, Leonard Naipaul. Yes, and yes, keep kids off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could think of two people who would say no, but they ain't calling today, boy. And Richard know them too.
Okay. All right. Are you happy that migrant children will be accepted into our school system starting in September? Yes or no? You have a couple of seconds again before the big bad wolf walks in. She's the Lone Ranger. in the newsroom. Oh, I hear her feet coming. I hear her. Yep, I did. Oh my God. Let me make a call to the powers that be. Maybe I should turn around and show people what Evie is. Evie. Everything all right?
Yes.
The top up plenty holes.
Yours have plenty squares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like you're wearing a fishing net.
You look like you're wearing a tablecloth.
Yeah.
So I guess we can't go together.
Well, maybe when you catch your fish, we will rest it on the table.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
so it's a theme.
Yeah.
It is a theme.
Should I go into news?
Yeah.
Okay. News starts now.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Big Woo says don't blame bank workers for robberies. Tobago stakeholders meet to discuss monkeypox virus, and TTMA cites teamwork in dismantling criminal networks, and major films in production, including Avatar and Gladiator sequels, are looking likely to be affected by Hollywood actors taking strike action. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintel-Bab. Good morning. The Banking, Insurance and General Workers Union, Big Woo, says it has taken offense to allegations that bank workers could be connected to recent robberies of citizens after they have withdrawn cash from ATMs and banks. On Wednesday, the Arima, Chaguanas and Greater San Fernando area chambers told Guardian Media that while it commended the Bankers Association of TNT for its efforts to combat the uptick in crimes, it was concerned that criminal elements appeared to have inside information about funds being withdrawn from banks. However, in response, via a media release yesterday, Big Woo's Republic Bank Limited branch president Anil Siratan said the union is very concerned about allegations, especially the ones circulating on social media about bank employees. He said this could serve to destroy the hard-earned reputation of trustworthy bank staff. He said bank workers are under the same economic pressure as all citizens of this country, and they deliver their service with pride and integrity. He acknowledged bad apples do emerge from time to time, but said given that they are dealing with a sector that is based on trust and confidence, such isolated incidents must not spoil the good reputation of thousands of honest workers. However, President of the Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Ramon Gregorio, said that it was alarming that the criminals seemed to know the movements of customers, and it was only fair to deduce that there could be some sort of collusion between the banking officials and the criminal elements. Asked if he believed that the police were doing enough to combat the incidents, Gregorio said the reality was the officers could not be everywhere. School doors may open for migrants in September. This is according to Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Dr. Amory Brown, following repeated calls from stakeholders and activists for the displaced children to have access to tuition. He said the government is advancing policy geared towards integrating migrant children into the primary school education system by September. During a humanitarian breakfast series, Dr. Brown stated that education without borders for migrant children could soon be a reality. He said efforts are taking place for this to occur in the coming school year. For the primary school level, they can facilitate integration and access to public education by children of migrants. There were no talks surrounding the integration of students within the secondary school system. Dr. Brown also told participants that efforts were needed to bridge the gaps that pose a challenge to the enrollment of migrant children. Secretary of Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Israel, convened a meeting on Thursday with all key stakeholders from the division and the Tobago Regional Health Authority to address the unfolding Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, situation in the country. This meeting focused on case identification, isolation and quarantine protocols, treatment, vaccine, and education. Planning for the threat of Mpox began last year when the outbreak started and cases had been identified in neighboring Caribbean islands. The protocol for healthcare providers, businesses, tourism stakeholders, and port health, which were developed last year, were reviewed. The Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association has suggested that it is critical for teamwork to address the dismantling of criminal networks. It says all regulatory, law enforcement, and government agencies should work for consistent enforcement by strengthening border security, sharing resources, and promoting information sharing to dismantle criminal networks. The TTMA says the illicit trade is a multifaceted phenomenon, and addressing it requires a cohesive and collaborative approach on all fronts. The TTMA warns tax evasion is a major component of illicit trade, which primarily affects sectors such as the tobacco and alcohol industries. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is seeking the urgent attention of the public in locating 18-year-old Serencia Ramdial. Serencia was last seen at a Pitibuk San Juan home on Monday and was reported missing on Wednesday to the San Juan police station. She is of mixed descent, slim-built, brown-skin in complexion, approximately 5 feet 4 inches tall with a cornrowed hairstyle. She was last seen wearing a pair of long blue jeans, blue-colored jersey, and a pair of red-colored slippers. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Serencia Ramdial is asked to contact the San Juan police station at 638-3416, 999-555-911, or call 800-TIPS or any police station. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. Major films in production, including Avatar and Gladiator sequels, are looking likely to be affected by Hollywood actors taking strike action. Promotional events such as red carpet premieres will also be affected, such as Disney film Haunted Mansion, released later this month. Events including the Emmys and Comic-Con may be rescheduled or scaled back. In the industry's biggest shutdown for over 60 years, some 160,000 performers stopped work at midnight in LA. The announcement followed similar strike action from the Writers Guild of America and brought most U.S. film and TV productions to a halt. Finally, here is weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, partly cloudy. Trinidad, partly cloudy conditions with isolated showers mostly over southern areas would envelop the entire island by late morning to early afternoon. There's a low to medium chance some of these showers could become heavy and or thundery, continuing into nightfall. Gusty winds, street and or flash flooding can be expected near heavy showers or thunderstorms. There's also Sahara dust present in the atmosphere, so persons sensitive to this feature should take necessary precautions. Tobago, partly cloudy at times from late morning to early afternoon with some isolated showers over broad areas. There's a low to medium chance some of these showers could become heavy and or thundery. Conditions would continue into nightfall. Gusty winds, street and or flash flooding can be expected near heavy showers and thunderstorms, and Sahara dust is also present in the atmosphere on the sister isle. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 32 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 31 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, the temperature at both localities is 27 degrees Celsius. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, Big Woo says don't blame bank workers for robberies. Tobago stakeholders meet to discuss the monkeypox virus. The TTMA cites teamwork in dismantling criminal networks, and major films in production, including Avatar and Gladiator sequels, looking likely to be affected by Hollywood actors taking strike action. I'm Avril Sintelbab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right, and welcome to the second hour of the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital. Good morning to you. Of course, it's Wendell, Stephen, Richard Ragabaras, and we got Ruben in the mix. Of course, my name is Steve Khan. We're all going to keep you company till 9 o'clock this morning. Quickly, let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise, what's happening on the highways and byways. An hour ago, it was so clear, but now it's not all that clear. going to Santa Rosa. You come around from La Joqueta, you got some traffic there. Trinidad City towards UE. And then after that, it's clear sailing all the way up to Barataria and slow going into Port of Spain. Eastern Main Road, not too bad, just by Paget and heading towards Boulevard Junction. You got some slow coach there. Take what's happening. San Fernando, yeah, I got nothing to tell. Oh, I got an accident. Sis Solomon Ho Choi, north to St. Madeleine, Corinth. There is an accident, all right? Slow going from Harmony Hall, exiting towards Taruba. Apart from that, that's it. Riverlet Road, just volume, and nothing really on the Solo/Uriah Butler Highway. Just chase Village to Sugar Waters. You'll step on your brake. All right. Again, our morning poll. I got some more votes for you. Are you happy that migrant children will be accepted into our school system from January? All right, that's our poll. Let me check YouTube. Ray, good morning to Ray. Says yes to the poll. I got Kenny out in Harlem saying yes to the poll. I got Gishan says good morning, Steve. Yes. Yeah, I know Gishan. This appointment for the new to allow cadet children to be allowed properly benefit from the organization. You don't have a commander. Yeah. All right. But Gishan said yes. So I got 3 yeses, gentlemen, to our morning poll. So let's get the final result. Well, not all final, right. But it'll be on Monday.
Yeah. Well, in relation to our poll this morning, in response to our poll this morning, we asked, are you happy that migrant children will be accepted in our nation's schools, primary schools, come September?
Trinidad and Boston says I'm
of you said,
that was just late. Sorry, go ahead, Wendell.
Yeah. 23 of you said yes, 1 person said no. Right? 23 said yes, 1 person said no. All right? And I got that information, thank you, Jaron, on the murder in St. James. And there is a picture of the well, it looked like 2 people on the ground, Jaron. But
is this the one by Bombay Street?
Bombay Street, yes. It's 2 people on the ground, and it's a part of Bombay Street. That's a quiet part of Bombay Street. I don't know. It says a youth was gunned down in the street in St. James early this morning. This is coming from Uncut News Media, right? Uncut News Media understands that the deceased is Kyle Suping Chow of Bellevue Road, Long Circular, St. James. Around 5 a.m., residents of Bombay Street, St. James, heard several loud explosions and subsequently observed Suping Chow lying at the side of the road with several gunshot wounds about his body. He died at the scene where police are at the moment. I won't read the last paragraph because it's a bit judgmental.
Only seen 1 person.
Look, there's 2 people. Look where the Uncut News sign is. The both signs. That's somebody else up there. That carry garbage.
Yeah, there's 1 person.
That's garbage.
Yeah,
it might be garbage. No?
There's 1 person. There's 2 different shots, 2 different angles.
All right. Okay. Good. Oh yes. All right. You're correct. It's a picture superimposed inside of a picture.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right. So it is 1 person. Yes. Yeah.
Let me see what the last paragraph you're talking about.
Yeah. So that is
Suping Chow, isn't that the family in San Juan?
Well, that's the family. The business name in Taiwan is Suping Chow. So I don't know if they really.
Everybody is Suping Chow. When they want to buy alcohol wholesale and so on. I don't know if they're still open though.
Yeah, that's where everybody used to go for the alcohol back in the day. It had no sings, it had no rumbok, it had no bobbies. It was only Suping Chow. So everybody having a party in the East-West Corridor was Suping Chow. And boy, that man had a horrible attitude.
Suping Chow?
What?
Yeah, I dealt with him once and I thought the same.
He had a horrible attitude. I don't know if he's still around, but he had a terrible attitude. I'll say no more.
Yeah. All righty. 16 minutes after the hour, 7 o'clock.
Sometimes I need to be able to hold back my frankness a bit. I really get in trouble for being too frank sometimes.
So, in other news, with regard to the Procurement Act, apparently the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, has instructed that Parliament be recalled next Wednesday to make sensible amendments to the procurement law so it can function in the people's interest. I know when we spoke to Saddam Hussein yesterday, I made two recommendations. One, that there be a minimum threshold into which the stringent application of the Procurement Act kicks in. Now, prior to this, there was the Central Tenders Board, etc., and PSs had a threshold of up to $1 million. I'm not saying that it has to be $1 million, but certainly if it's $500,000 and less, or $100,000 and less, it will go a great way in how should I say, a great way in easing some of the bureaucratic tension and pressure that public sector and the public service is experiencing right now. Because if you have to get, if you have to purchase the smallest item, it becomes an issue and it becomes unwieldy. Because even if you're, I don't know, whatever it is, I gave the example yesterday of buying a television set. And if you have to go and buy a television set, you can't just go to courts and pick up a television set as a quick thing because of whatever emergency or monitor that you need. You have to go through this entire process, even though it might be less than $3,000 you're going to spend. And it's become unwieldy in terms of the practicality of it. So I think it does need amendment to include that. And the other suggestion I made to Saddam Hussein was that artists should also be exempted, because you have legal services being exempted from the rigors of the procurement legislation. Apparently, what Saddam told me, it's also accounting services, medical services, etc. So in my opinion, it should also be artists, because if it is, for example, you want to hire voice for a Port of Spain City Council event, you can't just hire voice.
Yes. You have to get 2 other codes and they have to be registered.
Exactly. And how does that work? Exactly. How does that work if you specifically want voice?
You're absolutely right.
And so,
but you know, some of us foresaw this, you know, Richard. I saw this coming, you know. You can't, a procurement officer is now king, queen, you understand, in an organization, you know. You can't take away that kind of authority from some of the CEOs and PSs. You can't just suddenly cut them off at the legs. You understand? I understand the purpose of it with the corruption issues and so on, but sole selective tendering must be allowed at some level. Otherwise, we're in trouble. The whole place will shut down. And then people will start cussing the politician. If the politician didn't get cussed before, now they're going to get cussed. Because nobody ain't cussing the CEO or the PS. Is the minister the cussing or the councillor the cussing? Trust me.
But certainly, so, I don't. So hopefully, they make some amendments that really make it a little bit. I think even the private sector is calling for some amendments. When you're muted for some reason.
I don't know what's happening with me. I'm seeing myself doing all my talking after I finish talk.
Oh, okay. Some kind of delay is taking place.
Yeah, I don't know why. My internet is all right, but I'm just getting myself moving and talking long after I've spoken.
You have a kind of jumbie internet?
I don't know what's going on today. Oh, well, just all of a sudden.
Steve is kind of breaking up at points too.
Alrighty. The service providers.
Yeah,
But anyway, so that's
video feed. I think it's the video feed because you're hearing me when I'm speaking also, and you hear me now?
Yes.
Right. So it's the video feed. It's not matching the voice.
All right.
I'll take off well, I don't want to take off my camera. I don't want to get another message.
Well, in some other news, this is so strange. A girl 11 makes coffee and tea for 2 men, and the 2 men got hospitalized.
Yes, it was laced with poison. An 11-year-old girl. Was it accidental?
Well, we don't know. The 2 men were in serious but stable condition in hospital yesterday evening after consuming coffee and tea, which were allegedly given to them by an 11-year-old girl. Police suspect that the drinks were laced with a poisonous substance. According to police reports on Tuesday evening, the men, aged 53 and 44, went to visit their friend at his home in Couva as the man was not feeling well. The newspaper was told by police that while they were at the house, the girl made coffee and tea for the victims. Police said immediately after consuming the hot drinks, both men started feeling unwell and began vomiting before collapsing. The men were rushed to the nearby health facility for treatment. Police said the child was being questioned as part of their investigations. Well, if the child is being questioned, I assume that the TTPS has called the Duty Counsel line at the Legal Aid and Advisory Authority so that an attorney can be present.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that has happened.
Good assumption, because that should be part of the story.
So I assume that has happened. But so it's very strange. I mean,
because they were visiting a friend, the story says.
Well, they were visiting a friend who was ill. And so, anyway, you see how it all plays out.
An 11-year-old child made coffee and tea for them.
Yeah.
That story missing plenty parts.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we'll find out more. But go by somebody today and they tell you want some coffee?
Oh, jeez.
And look at you like that, Wenda. You want some coffee?
Do you want tea?
Your answer has to be no, thank you.
Lord, we get the kind of things we find funny. I sometimes wonder about us, the kind of things we make light. But seriously, I mean, that story is missing so many parts.
Yeah.
So many parts, that they're visiting a friend and an 11-year-old child makes tea and coffee for them. Even that part, it just doesn't make sense. An 11-year-old child doing that. That don't make sense. You know what I mean? So, anyway, let's hope they get to...
Yeah, there's more in the mortar than the pestle. I suppose it's how they would say that. And this tragic story of this ambulance, well, the lack of the ambulance or the non-responsive time or early response time of the ambulance to the toddler in Matlock that ended in her death. And I mean, that I don't know if I, as a parent, what I would do of a toddler who died because the ambulance didn't come in time. I mean, and there's a picture of the 3-year-old Araya Shepherd when she died after falling ill at her grandmother's home at St. Helena Village in Matlock. The Eastern Regional Health Authority has challenged claims that its ambulance service took too long to respond to calls from the relatives of 3-year-old Araya Shepherd, who fell ill and eventually died. Yesterday, the authority provided details of what transpired. Well, what transpired Tuesday evening. It said the ambulance driver even went to the house where the toddler was, and they were informed that she was already taken to the health facility. The child was spending the July-August vacation at her grandmother's house at St. Helena Village in Mattalot when she fell ill. Relatives claimed she died on arrival at the Toko Health Facility after repeated calls for an ambulance to transport her for emergency came to naught. Yesterday, the ERHA, in a release, told its side of the story. The release stated at 5:20 p.m. on Tuesday, a relative of the on-call ambulance driver, a relative of the on-call ambulance driver was contacted by the child's relative requesting the ambulance service. The ERHA said the on-call driver's relative advised Shepard's relative to immediately contact the Toko Accident and Emergency Department and explain the nature of the ailment for a remote assessment of the toddler's condition to be done. The ambulance would then be dispatched. The ERHA said the accident and emergency nurse who was on duty at the Toko Health Facility received a telephone call from the child's relative at 5:30 p.m. So this is 10 minutes later from the first call, according to the ERHA report. The authority claimed the relative was concerned that the child had been ailing for 6 days and wanted advice on what next to do. It said the nurse asked about the child's general condition and was informed that Araya was alert but a bit weak. The nurse then advised the relative that the toddler required immediate medical attention at the Toko Accident Emergency Department, and the relative agreed. The ERHA added that when the nurse attempted to reach an on-call ambulance driver, a resident from Mattalot contacted the Toko Ambulance and Emergency Department at 5:31 p.m., saying that an off-duty member of staff was on the way to the Toko Accident Emergency with the child and was accompanied by a relative. The nurse discontinued her efforts to reach the on-call driver. The release added that while the toddler was being taken for medical attention, the on-call driver reported that after waiting some 30 minutes for a call from the Toko Accident and Emergency Department, he visited the family and was informed that the child was already transported to the Toko Health Facility. The ERHA said Araya arrived unresponsive at 6:10 p.m. and was immediately assessed by the medical staff. The release said all attempts were made to resuscitate her, and she was pronounced dead at 6:59 p.m. The authorities said it had expressed its condolences to the family and was providing counseling. However, when the newspaper spoke with the toddler's aunt, Alana Alfred, she disputed that she was sick for 6 days. She said when Araya arrived in Mattalot, she was healthy, jolly, and active, even dancing with the family. Alfred said she was recorded on video. The aunt maintained that efforts to contact an ambulance were futile and added that the on-call ambulance driver never came to the house. She said Araya was rushed to the Toko Health Facility by a resident of the area who used his van, which he uses to sell fish. Alfred said the family remains traumatized by the incident, and they were hoping to get answers when an autopsy is conducted on the toddler today. The aunt made another appeal to the ERHA to have an ambulance stationed in Mattalot and not in the Grand Riviere Outreach Center to prevent a repeat of what happened to her niece. The ERHA said it provided an ambulance service to the community of Mattalot and Grand Riviere through an ambulance station in Grand Riviere with a driver who is on call. Okay. So I don't know. It's a kind of he say.
Yeah.
And you wonder who to believe. And instinctively, I kind of want to lean to the family side because the families have less reason to do any PR. But who knows? But it certainly calls for an investigation. And there are a lot of gaps in that story too. Obviously the workflow of getting an ambulance from Grand Riviere to Matelot, and is that the best and most efficient means of having it happen for residents in that area? Because at the end of this, a child is dead.
Yep.
And yeah.
You know, I heard you yesterday, Richard. I at some point in time I heard you say, because I was wondering why it wasn't being said, but you said it. The issue of those ambulances, when they take people to the hospital, they cannot leave the hospital with the gurney unless the person is attended to and removed from the gurney. And that, because I saw that myself when I was at the Port of Spain Hospital one day, I stood up there next to the ambulance driver and I asked him, I said, but why are you all? He said, well, we cannot remove the person. We cannot take back the gurney and go until the person is attended to and removed from our gurney to their bed. So they have to stand up literally in a hospital sometime, an hour, 2 hours, waiting to get that gurney back, you know. So if there's an emergency...
And that's what Richard said, spending money on getting some gurneys.
Well, they had to do something. But the problem wasn't so much with the ambulances. It was actually at the hospitals. And because the hospitals are so busy, they don't have time to say, put that person so and move that person so and let the ambulance man go. They may have time for
Well, they have to find a way to address that workflow. And if that workflow involves buying more gurneys for those, from a receiving point of view, you have to look at your workflow for your receiving triage.
But who would buy that, Richard? Would it be the health sector or GMR?
Well, but part of it is it's an overlap. It's an overlap, but a big part of it is the hospital.
Yeah.
But you can't have
because
people
I asked
in crisis in some other part in some town or village or wherever or city, and 5 ambulances are caught up waiting in the Port of Spain General Hospital for a gurney.
Yeah. And I think the proper way should be they come in the gurney, they just transfer them to a bed and let the ambulance people go.
And therein lies the problem.
That's the problem right there.
They may not have enough beds, which seems to be a perpetual problem. I don't know, like we have 10 million people living here. But there seems to be a perpetual problem of beds.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's open up lines, take some calls. You know the numbers, 222-8255, North Americans, toll free, 866-525-1099. They really need to buy beds. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning.
Good morning, Wendell. I'm going in the order everybody reaching, and good morning, Richard.
Oh, yeah, that started with Ruben.
Well, sorry, Ruben, you're number one. Okay, so 2 things I have to say, and Wendell, you have to answer one for me, please. Now, the 73-year-old, 11-year-old girl who served the poison, you know, and that is not joke, I'm not making it, but, you know, they allegedly got a taste of their own medicine because I feel something in the motor beside the person there.
I went all there with my mind to her, but I didn't vocalize it.
I feel as I am your girl, and then they have poison in the house. What kind of poison it was used? Because we don't know as yet. So what kind of poison was she using, you know, to serve it to that extent that they end up in hospital? Clorox can't do too much damage anyway. Okay, so Wendell, I observed NTA party put up a lot of names for all the men, and they the names are repeated in different corporations. Is that possible? Is that normal?
You know, Miss Dabadi, I saw it and I asked myself the same question. I'm wondering if it is allowed because I know some of the names. Ross Russell is a national goalkeeper.
Yes.
He is on more than one.
Gary
Griffith's son is on the list. His daughter.
And more than one, he's on 2. and his son-in-law.
yeah,
So
and I saw.
the one who got into the accident. When the
Yeah, I
problem, not the
saw other
accident,
names too.
the police.
Yeah, other names are showing
So
up
I
on
was
more than one
wondering,
on the
what
list.
can I think if things change? So God, I hope and let us there today. I can't need to rest over the weekend. What is going on there?
No, I saw it, but I'm waiting to ask an official if that is allowed, because I'm not sure that it is. So I have to find out. Maybe it is, because certainly the EBC returning officer accepted the names because it's official. You understand?
Well, look at it, right? But I mean, okay,
Yeah.
I'll wait for that answer next week. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Like I said yesterday, my communication with you all over the death of the 3-year-old, I am still pissed over that issue. You see, what we heard from the ERH in their public statement, you see, all of this comes down to he say, she say, and somewhere within those statements on both sides, there is the truth. But what all of this does is that nobody in the end will be accountable and will stand the necessary consequences. And more importantly, you're not going to end up fixing the problem. You know, the problem is not going to get fixed, and there's going to be a repeat of the problem some way down the road, whether it is a month from now, a year from now, years from now. And that is the problem I have, right? Because nobody will admit, right? They said they were launching, the ERH said they were launching an investigation. If this is the outcome of their investigation via their statement, okay, there's always confusion. The whole thing is just to confuse the minds of the public with he say, she say, and no one is held accountable, and there are no consequences, and the problem never gets solved. And I am still vexed over the death of that child. Something I believe could have been avoided. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Well, basically, just want to engage Wendell in a conversation, mostly on local election, just for clarity. Now, we know that we have election coming up next month, right? And there are a lot of campaigning. I've been listening attentively to the various parties and then on the political platform. And from my observation, there seems to be only one party that's having that conversation about local election. And why I say that, the issue of the permanent staff, which is the public servants and them that work within the borough corporations, the regional corporations, etc., and the what I could say, the influence of the councillors who are representing the bourgeois, right? And I recall, Wendell, that you had stated the difficulty at times in terms of getting the public servants or the workers and permanent to actually institute the work to the benefit of the burgess. And that was raised, I think, yesterday by the Prime Minister in his discussion, right? But in the other parties, they are not having that conversation, and they are communicating to the people and making it look as if it is central government not doing what they're supposed to do, and that is why it is that the public is not achieving the benefits of what's supposed to be done. And I see that all the benefits in terms of this new act being enforced, in terms of giving these councillors a permanent function, and in terms of getting the executive a little more power, in terms of control, in terms of getting the benefits of what it is that's supposed to be done. And I just wanted to get your input into that, please.
Well, they are both. Yeah, thanks. They are both right in a way, you know. But I agree with you on the other platforms. They're acting like if after August 14, the government will not change. No, the government will not change. What the government has to do is change the way they deal with local government. That's what they have to do. And I too fed up with the talking. So if I was an opposition to the government right now, trust me, I would be in the tail about local government reform. You understand? But the other parties, you're right. It has a lot to do with how central government treats with local government to ensure that local government can deliver on their mandate. Right? The public servants in local government, a lot of these people who work in local government, they listen to the average councillor. Because first you get some of the average councillors don't know how to talk to people, right? So they ain't listening. But it has to have some sort of relationship, some sort of established relationship to get the work done. Because we can't have a pothole on Abercrombie Street for 3, 4, 5 months. Come on. That's ridiculous. You understand? And it ain't for lack of effort by the workers. Is a lot of times is material. They don't have the material. You understand? And come on, we can't be going on and on like this. Which is why the promise of the municipalities retaining the property tax and using it now, well, after a year or two of doing that, they have no excuse now as to why they can't get something fixed. Because now they would have the resources to deal with it. Which is why I told people, when people say anything go work, it ain't go work, I say, well, you can't know that. Yeah, wait and see. We've never tried it before. We have to try it. And if it fails, well, then we could say the government failed and local government is failing us. But we can't say that as yet. But they clearly feel that they're going to have a new prime minister after August 14th. They're going to have a new minister of national security. They're going to have a new minister of local government. The way you listen, when you listen to these other parties, you would think that is a change of government coming August 14th. No. A change of governmental issues have to come. Local government better change. Otherwise, brother man, I don't know what to say after that. That's my 2 cents. I have more
All
sense
right,
to
thank you, Wanda.
give it.
Good morning, caller.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Diego Martin.
Morning. I want to say condolences to the family of the 3-year-old girl in Mapla Tuko. I could imagine how, what's her name? Guy Allen, the female police officer. She must be cringing when she saw that news, because I remember as school closed, she came on air and she said she asking parents to be careful, where you drop your children, all the camps that are out there, and now to see the first week of school. I listened to that. I heard a caller saying, you're getting 2 different reports. But I heard on the news where the little child was sick for 6 days. And I'm saying, what? 6 days? And maybe some parents just wait till things get out crucial and call for the ambulance and whatever. But
the relatives have indicated that is not true, eh?
Well, so then wait, listen, that's Wendell, you see why I told you and I said to you, I don't buy papers? Because this is what you're reading. Where these reporters just get the news from? Where? I mean, former President Kamono was right. Armchair journalists. Oh my God! Listen, I had a run-in with a reporter, TV on what station? That was TTT, Stacey Providence, when my brother got killed in Trinidad City, and she read out something that was totally untrue. I had to call TTT the Monday morning and talk to her and let her know, where you get that story from? And she telling me it's a nonsense. Where did this get it? Then they just go wrong in the neighborhood and hear a neighbor say something and they do like Mr. Killer and they run with it. Good Lord. Anyway, let me move on. I can't believe what... Yes, okay, let me say. You see, I keep saying it, and I heard a former police officer who was in charge of Ambry was on TV6 this morning, and he said the people seeing things and they ain't saying nothing. He said, because how you could tell me? He said that bombing of that house burning took 5 minutes to count it. He said, you mean to say nobody ain't call the police? Nobody ain't call the police? Really? And I keep saying, and he said it, they should have put all the support in the ATF, whatever. They should have Caledonia locked down And you mean to tell me today, Friday, and up to now, we're here, the whole not one out of the 11? No, I would give them kudos for the good job they did with the fellas who, it is alleged, let me use the word, who killed the guy you talk about Wendell in Cocorit, and they held him on Rice Road. What do you say, Wendell?
Yeah, Dylan, the young man.
Dylan, right. Good job, officers. That is how they're supposed to work. You can't tell me a man go shoot a man in Cocorit and he go reach peace. Well, I mean, they intercepted the ones who robbed the playway place in Cocorit there. That is how you do it. Call out your troops. The army should have been roaming Caledonia since that day. Good Lord, man. Oh, Jesus. Hey, we're in a mess. Lord, you'll have a wonderful weekend if all you can. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Mr.
Buy more goonies, Mr. Pinal here. Carry an extra spare tire. I need something raw with every meal. Some things are so simple. If you have issues with goonies, right? You don't have to buy extra ambulances so that you have extra gurneys. Buy more gurneys and have them packed up there. You know, you don't have to have a whole extra car to come and pick you up if you run into problems because your spare this and that. Carry an extra spare. You know, some things are so simple. You know, and you wonder, and Wendell, my friend,
yes, sir.
You know, we share this and we share the problems. You don't have to try everything, you know. Or I mean, there's simulations, there's testing, there's experience that people have, expertise, the value of expertise, training and experience, and you know, other people's experience and that kind. This idea that you try any damn thing and then try any damn thing again and then some other damn thing. You know, that's not competitive at all. Now, you could live like that, and we have been doing that. But, you know, we have to be competitive because other people are going to run simulations, they're going to have discussions, they're going to listen to their experts as opposed to their politicians, and they're going to get it right the first or second time. And we will be trying any damn thing. You know, that's not the way to go. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Lots of calls. Good morning.
What do you mean by that?
Good morning to the breakfast crew.
Morning.
Yeah. I just want to add my 2 cents here to that issue with the ambulance. Last October, I was in Tompuna Gardens, and a neighbor called out that another neighbor was sick. I quickly rushed across, called the ambulance service, sent a gentleman out on the corner of Tompuna Road to direct the ambulance inside. And after 15 minutes, there was no ambulance at all. So I decided to call back. And lo and behold, when I called again, they said the ambulance was coming from Port of Spain. And I remember distinctly when I called, I said Tompuna Gardens Arima. So that, you know, so that they will not mistake Tompuna and Tompuna Road. Okay? Because people always do that. And lo and behold, they said when the ambulance is coming from Port of Spain, I said, well, all right, no problem. I quickly put the gentleman in the back of my pickup and head for the hospital, which is just about 5 minutes away. Lo and behold, the gentleman died. The ambulance never came. I could stand to my word. The ambulance. Okay? And that's one situation. Ambulance. Yeah, right? And
don't we have ambulances? Don't we have ambulances right here on Tompuna Road?
Well, I know that. But when
That's
I called,
crazy.
I think he said, yeah. I mean, I don't highlight the issue too much because, you know, the families, they're still in shock because one of their sons would have done some unsavory things just 3 weeks before that. So, you know, the family is still in grief, I would imagine. Right? Yeah, because he had killed himself 3 weeks before that. So, you know, I don't want to mention so that anybody would, you know, be too aggrieved still. Yeah, and the man died. So that's the situation with those ambulances. They are unreliable. Okay, then thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello. Oh, City Easy. Hello.
Good morning, Wendell.
Hi, Miss
Wendell,
Sampson.
I want to tell Wendell, go to the head of the class with that speech there. Everything you say there is true.
Well,
Concerning,
long enough.
yes, yes. Concerning the TDPS, if they close the revolving door halfway, it will have less crime. That's all I have to say this morning. They're doing their job, but they need to close the revolving door a little. Have a good day.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
I want
Morning.
to I want to support Ms. Gomez with part of the contribution that she made. We are seeing too much heinous things happening and very little intervention by the TTPS. I'm almost positive. I don't want to believe that nobody called the police in that situation with the firebombing at the house. I'm sure people did. And the fact that, well, it started a couple of weeks ago. The fact that somebody could be brazen enough to gun down somebody in Trinity Mall on a Saturday and feel confident enough that they would escape and did make good their escape speaks a lot to the confidence of the criminal element. And here we have another example that 11 men, it's not 10, it's 11 men, young men, could feel confident enough that they could walk down the street brazen enough with guns in hand, guns and a case of malt cocktails in hand, and try and firebomb somebody's house and feel confident enough to do that they're not going to get caught.
Yeah.
And did in fact not get caught speaks a lot to the confidence of the criminal element in this country.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct, Lincoln.
And the lack of faith in the police service, in their response, in their crime detection, in the investigation, in the quote unquote, and there's in an oxymoron. I always use the word oxymoron when I hear police use it. Their intelligence, it speaks a lot to that.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Kudos that every now and again they get it right and they do apprehend the people when they do the crime.
Like yesterday. Yeah.
Like yesterday. Kudos, and I don't want to take away from that. But in the majority, it doesn't seem like what that is the results.
Why and connected to that, Lincoln, is why is there not an aggressive hunt for those 11 fellas?
That's not just those 11 fellas, Richard. There is an abundance of guns in this country. Clearly, when you see 11 men running up and how much of them have guns in their hand, where is the aggressive hunt for guns in this country? Where is the strike and the conduct strike and the searches and the seizures and the making the criminal element uncomfortable? Right?
But guess what? Guess what, Lincoln and guys? The intelligence came out that the call came from prison. How they know that?
These are the questions that I like to have asked, but the media doesn't ask these questions. Right? Only one thing I would like to disagree with Mr. Digger Martin about when she said, and a lot of people say it, and a lot of people are not aware of how the government runs. They should bring out the army, and the army should be on top of that. You know how long it takes to mobilize the army? You understand? Say for aside from that, the army is not for that. I don't know when we would get that right. The army is not for domestic situations like that. It's the police job. And say for aside from that, even if you do, if you get the army to respond to something like that, the army is trained differently. When the army come out and do what they have to do, you know, when we self go complain how they're so brutal and how they kill people, we must be careful what we ask for.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
And I talked about the response of the TTPS as articulated by the media concerning those fellas with the Molotov cocktails, and attacking the house. The media reported on the nightly news, and I talked about this yesterday, that what did the TTPS have to say about it? The TTPS said out of that incident, they are concerned that gangs are becoming more organized. And I'm like, wait, what? When I heard it, on the news, I was like, what? So I felt to switch back to my cable and stream on Netflix because I was like, what does that mean from the TTPS? And I talked about this yesterday. The nature of the word gang, the definition of the word gang includes the fact that you're organized for criminal activities. That's what a gang is.
Yes.
So what are you saying? You're repeating the definition of gang? And I said it yesterday, the better response from the TTPS to that incident and the incident of the guys walking through Spring Village, jumping fences, was we have noted it and we are in fact mobilizing and we will get every one of those fellas. And if they think that being masked prevents us from locating them, you will be arrested and we will keep you updated because we are not going to tolerate that sort of behavior, not on these shores.
Right. So
that's the kind of response you want.
Right, I agree with you. But here what's going to happen now. We are potentially going to have 11 murders in that area. Because somebody, that family, the family who they attacked, not going to leave it so, and they're not going to depend on the TTPS because the TTPS didn't come to help them. Right?
All right. Gentlemen, we have a call on hold here. Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Something I wonder. No, it is not an excuse, but it is a thought and an analysis that I make. Now, a lot of times we look at the positive things that happen in the US, for example, how we think that politicians will get away with, how people will get taken to court and they do things that they would get away with here, they wouldn't get away with over there. But listen something. The US have Interpol, NYPD, FBI, CIA, and under every 3 minutes, there's a crime of some sort, rape, murder, something. Now, I'm saying it's not an excuse, but it just makes me wonder what it is we have to do to deal with this issue. Because you sit in an armchair here and you look at this. How do you operate with people as we speak here? Somebody in the home with planning something. Somebody just decide when they get vexed with someone and decide to kill them. How do we deal with that kind of thing? That is my question. I am sorry for the police. The police are really trying. The police are really trying. But one of the things that we face too is that when the police react, everybody pointing their hand and they want to go to court and they want to this and they want to. But when the bandit do aware that nobody does see. Those are some of the things that we are facing here. That is causing. That is why the criminals are so confident because they feel protected by the public. Because when they do what they do, nobody sees, nobody hears, and it don't mean you have to go out and talk and make yourself a target. But when the police do anything, everybody see and condemn the police. Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, in this information age, there are many times that you get videos of what happened. We have videos of those guys walking through Spring Village. We have videos of those guys pelting in Molotov cocktails. So it's not that nobody said anything. That video came from in the area.
Yeah.
Somebody in the area was recording what happened, and it was distributed onto social media and became viral. And don't tell me you can't figure out somebody who is behind a mask. How the hell did the British do it? When all those young men, when all of those young people looted in England about 4 years ago, it was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. And there was hundreds of them across the UK, and they tracked them down, and they were wearing masks. They tracked them down. 11 people we can track down. Yeah.
Because, as I say, and I always hope I'm wrong when I'm saying this, it is always, also you do that, well then your justice coming. Just leave me out of it. To me, that is what is happening. They're waiting for people for other people to take the revenge.
And that is not a practical workflow to this problem.
It cannot be. It cannot be. Because where Dylan was killed yesterday, right? All right, they arrested the guys, right? But there are cameras there. Where that guy was killed in Bombay Street this morning, right? I'm sure that there are several businesses with cameras there because there are businesses and homes in that area. I know Bombay Street well. Okay? Will we pursue it? We don't know.
We don't know because there's a lack of information.
Mm-hmm.
And we get it that the TTPS can't be everywhere. And we get it that sometimes the TTPS really does do a fantastic job in getting people, whatever, in circumstances.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times, there is room for criticism. And a lot of the criticism comes from your messaging in how you deal with the criminal element.
Mm-hmm.
The criminal element can only feel empowered because the detection rate is so low.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. This is where we wrap it up. I don't know if you guys want to stick around to after 8 to take some calls. I got all my lines are still lit up. All right. So if you guys want to do that, it's up to you guys. But let's get into. You guys want to go?
Well, I mean, let me say my goodbyes, but I may still try and hang around. So, have a fantastic weekend. Whatever you do, be positive and remember to put a smile on your face because the weekend has begun, people. It is Friday. And of course, I just want to let you know that theater is coming soon.
What?
At the end of the month, July 29th.
America Dance?
No, July 29th and 30th, we will be at the Central Bank Auditorium with a brand new production called...
Hold on, don't say it. Wait till after 8.
Why are you looking at me so far?
Has anybody played Why you looking at me so far?
Folks,
Wendell is sticking around after 8. I got to run the news quickly. Stick around after 8.
I'm going to start going on, but let me say my goodbyes still now. Folks, have a wonderful weekend. Be careful on the nation's roads and remember to let go and let God.
All right, and folks on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. You can get us on our mobile app, on our website, and smart devices as well. Let's get into our news brief. If he is it.
This is your news bulletin